Hello and welcome to Trystology Talk, Sex and the Empowered Woman, where we will be having frank discussions about sexuality, female self-pleasure, and intimacy and play with partners. I am your hostess, Roylin Downs, and this is episode 15. So, Roxie is back with us. I am really excited about having her, and we're going to have to figure out what to call, Roxie. Well, I guess we'll just call you Roxie.
Just call me Roxie.
Roylin with Roxie on Trystology Talk. There you go. So welcome. We're so excited to have our listeners, and thanks for joining us today for this episode. This week, Roxie and I went to a trade show, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that. But first, I just have to share what I heard at the trade show that I thought was so cute. Since I had this gal, she was so cute. We were all eating lunch together, and she said, "I do dirty things for creme brulee." And I couldn't stop laughing because I thought, I've never said that in my life. I would do dirty things for.
Well, I would do dirty things for creme brulee too, so I could totally relate to that.
There was a number of things, yeah, but I never ever had thought of saying something like that. I'm so freaking vanilla. I gotta get outside. So it made me consider, what would I do dirty things for? I mean, I was just like, I haven't made that chocolate mousse for a while, and maybe I would do dirty things for chocolate mousse and red wine. So I always want a little red wine with that one.
Oh yeah, a little red wine and I don't know, some nice platter, nice spread.
Really? A nice spread?
Yeah, spreader bar, complete with handcuffs.
The funniest thing that happened when I went to this trade show, within 2 minutes, I had met the guy in charge of it, and he said to me, "Oh, you're that bougie bitch." And I said, "Yeah, that would be me." He said, "Oh, you're the one that my assistant told me about. If it's not high end, she doesn't want to come because she doesn't buy any of that low end stuff." Right?
Right.
And I thought, you know what? I'll own that moniker. I'll be that bougie bitch, because the thing is that Trystology is really, really important to me. My customers are really important to me. And making sure that we have the best quality products for the store has always been my number one thing. We started out in 2009 with Jimmy Jane as one of our core, when 90% of the industry wasn't buying Jimmy Jane because it was very, very exclusive. Mm-hmm. You had to buy really big into it. You had to buy all their SKUs, and it was something I really believed in. And so what I want to do is just talk about today, and you've been with me since the beginning, why do I choose what products I choose? So the reason that we picked Jimmy Jane...
Well, not only is it a great product and it's body safe, it has a 3-year warranty. That was pretty much, that was a good selling point for us. At that time, a lot of the sex toy manufacturers they didn't have a warranty. Well,
there's also really nice packaging.
Oh yeah, I love the packaging. The packaging is great.
So from the beginning, I've always been about no vulgar packaging, nothing demeaning to men or women. So, when I go to these trade shows, most of the packaging is a woman naked, very provocative, a little demeaning sometimes, and sometimes in a sexual position using a toy. And so for me, as a woman, it's not something that I'm comfortable with. Mm-hmm. And so I don't buy from those vendors because of that. And Jimmy Jane has always been one that not only had great packaging, they had great quality products. They used silicone. They're rechargeable and waterproof. And then in those days, back in the day, when they were brand new and I was brand new, they were always introducing new toys. So since then, Jimmy Jane has been bought by Pipe Dream, which we never bought any Pipe Dream stuff, and I don't know if we still have, except for Jimmy Jane now.
Yeah.
So they were, in my opinion, was considered a little bit lower end brand, and Jimmy Jane was a boutique. So I was always into the boutique brands because they had kind of, like Jeju was from London with a French name, which was always really funny. But these brands that were boutique brands like Jimmy Jane and Jeju, they had the most interesting toys. The Form 2 is still the number one sex toy.
Yeah, it definitely is.
For females.
And back in those days, the two prongs was
Very unique.
very unique, very brand new. Now you could find, like, this is a Crave vibrator, and it also has the two prongs. So a lot of people
We're starting to
make
them
do
like
that, because it works.
This was made, the thing I love about it is, it was this one, right? That was made by the architect and the owner who
They won, I think, 2 awards for that?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
It's so the whole concept of having, I think he was a microbiologist working on the Human Genome Project. Ethan and Bowden was the owner and the one who started Jimmy Jane, but he also had an architect who helped him design these incredible toys, and they did, I think, Form 2, Form 3, and Form 4 as their introduction into the toy industry, and I loved those. But like Roxie said, the thing about Trystology and the toys that we pick, and if you haven't seen our toys, I know a lot of people are listening to the podcast for the first time, or you've only listened to it as a podcast. We do have this on YouTube, so youtube.com/Trystology, or you can go to the website, and every product almost on our website has a video so that you can see us talking about it or introducing it or launching the video of the product. So Trystology.com. And you can search by brands. So if you wanted to look up Jimmy Jane or if you wanted to look up Crave, you can find those. But I have this fun story about this. When Crave came out, it's this metal toy, for those of you who can't see, and has this silicone tip, and the tip can be removed from the base itself, and this looks like a USB, like hard drive, or what do they call it? Yeah. Jump drive. So you charge it and then you put the two together and then the toy works. So when I first met this toy, it's like I always am introduced to these toys at parties or something like that. I'm very intimate with my toys. But when I first met this toy at a trade show, I thought it was too executive. It looked too masculine. It looked too... But within about an hour or two after meeting it, I kind of got acclimated to it, and then I went back to the vendor, Michael, who was the owner of the company and still is, and said, you know what, I feel like I really want to get that toy. And he said, oh yeah, it's not going to be available till after Christmas. I'm like, after Christmas? You're showing me a toy in August and I can't have it? And you're getting me all excited? This is how I am. I'm that bougie bitch, right? So I'm like all annoyed. I'm like, oh, I want that toy and I want it before Christmas and I want it before Valentine's Day and I want to sell it. Because here's the thing, for those of you who are watching YouTube, you can see I'm putting in this leather pouch, and it's just one of those things. You can just have it in your purse. Nobody knows you're carrying a vibrator. The original ones also came with a jump drive, which the less expensive ones didn't have, but the $300 version had an 8 gigabyte jump drive in it, which of course I had to have. And so I was so annoyed with Crave that they would get me all excited. What do you call that? Like they left me with blue balls, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. No, I remember that now.
I was so annoyed. Well, somehow, I don't know if it was through social media or an email that came through, or I think it may have been a newspaper announcement. I found out that they were selling the toys for a crowdfunding. And I thought, what the heck? I want to buy some. So I went and bought them on the crowdfunding, like 3 of this and 2 of this and 1 of that. I think I spent well over $1,000 on buying them for the store. And Crave was hysterical. They're like, Roylin, after they'd been delivered and I've already put them on my website, they were like, well, Roylin, we don't have a merchant agreement with you. You did something that no other retailer has ever done, and you took it from our website, and now you're selling them in your store. I'm like, well, if I wanted them so badly, wouldn't you have wanted to do the same thing? So this is how Trystology works. We like to get the hottest toys. We like to get the best toys. We like to get the most discreet toys. And some of the feedback we were giving to some of the vendors were, yeah, no, we can't buy your toys because they're not the caliber. Here comes that bougie bitch with her nose in the air. Not the caliber of toys that we buy. So what do you think, Roxie, like Fun Factory?
Oh, I love Fun Factory. I always love their colors. I mean, and their product is like, it's just they're always like on point. There is this one vibrator, they discontinued it, but it looked like a mole. Like, do you remember what I'm talking
Oh
about?
my gosh. Well, they used to have some really freaky ones. Like one looked like Casper the Ghost.
Yeah,
And,
well, they really stepped away from that, and they're like getting a lot better now.
Right, we're real happy with
because
that.
I remember like back in the day, they had all these really funky designs, but I actually really liked them all. And no, it was really great, and I was like surprised I liked it, but it was just not something that that really fits into the store.
It didn't fit into the store. So what I'm holding right now is called the Boss, and I like it because of the shape of it is really kind of a little bit on the authentic side, a little bit on the more discreet side. But the thing about Fun Factory, and this is a huge thing for me, again, discreet packaging, but the silicone is from Germany, and Germany requires their silicones to be medical grade silicones. Mm-hmm. So that's a huge factor. When you go to buy, any of the thousands of toys that are on the market right now, and in the hundreds of different vendors that are available, the reality is that, what did we learn in our trade show this week? You only have to have 12% of the product to have silicone in it to be a silicone product. So the fact that when we buy from Fun Factory, we know that it is platinum grade, medical grade silicones that they're using, and we don't have to worry. It doesn't smell. It doesn't have toxins in it. It doesn't.
You can put it in like hot water. It's not going to melt on you.
Right. So this is a huge factor for when we look at toys. There's also no seam. You're inserting this into one of the most gentle places of our body, and if you have a hard seam going down the edge of it or something like that, it could be distracting or uncomfortable. And so the fact that Fun Factory is so careful about the seams and the way that things are made is a huge factor for us.
One of the ways I just wanted to touch, because since you're talking about silicone, and a lot of brands say that they have silicone, like you said, and they're not really 100% silicone. A way you can tell if a product is 100% silicone is by, kind of weird, is if you smell it. And don't be afraid to smell your sex toys. I mean, I would go into other sex toy shops and I would just be like, can I smell this vibrator? And they would just give me this weird look. But when you smell a toy and it's 100% silicone, it shouldn't smell like anything. If it smells like something, chances are it has toxins in it.
Phthalates, which are the softeners, which give off gases, and we believe that that is one of even the off gases.
Yeah.
You put a condom on it. Some shops will sell the phthalate toys or the jelly toys and tell you to put a condom on it. But we've found that even if you put 1, 2, or 3 condoms, it's just delaying the off gases and the time that it takes to get through the 2 or 3 condoms. And so it will cause an irritant. It can create an infection.
I've had women say that they burn their vaginas
by having a toy that isn't of platinum grade silicones and things like that.
And also it's porous. Most of the time, those sort of toys are porous. It collects bacteria. And if you're putting in your vagina, your anus, you don't want
bacteria.
You don't want bacteria in there.
And you'll get bacteria from the first use. After the first use, every time there's no way to clean that. So putting a condom on it or something like that is the only way to kind of protect yourself from something like that. So we don't even sell those kind of toys. And it was interesting at this trade show that we went to, we said to a couple of the vendors, it smells. And they're like, oh no, it's just the powder. Oh no, it's just the packaging. And I just can't take that kind of risk. Since I don't know what percentage, they could have 52%, but that means 48% of it is not pure silicone. And so for me, that's a really important aspect of what we're purchasing. Right?
And another thing to be wary of when you're buying a sex toy is a lot of companies have kind of figured out that people are realizing that their sex toys are not safe. So they take the phthalates out and then they put a new softener that's just as bad, and they put phthalate free on their packaging. So that's also horrible. And that's what we look for. We don't want, and another thing they do is body safe material. I mean, they could just say that. If you look at the back of a lot of sex toys, it's not labeled as a sex toy. It's labeled as a novelty item. And it's a legal way to get around basically having to be a responsible company, and they could sell these toys that have like
as
all
a
these
novelty.
as a novelty, and they have all these chemicals, and that way you can't sue them, or they can't because it's not for a sex
specifically
toy.
for but that's why stores like mine and Trystology and Smitten Kitten and Babeland and some other stores are working to make sure that we're educating our customers. A lot of the female friendly, couple friendly, Good Vibrations have always been advocates for healthful toys. Like our slogan is healthful toys for passionate play. So let me go into one of the last, I got two aspects that I want to talk about. Power in a toy is also a big factor of what I look for in a toy. And this is a brand new mini swan from BMS. So feel that. This is,
Oh, wow.
You can almost not hear it. It's really quiet and it's hugely powerful, waterproof, and only $60.
Oh, that's
So
good.
Jimmy Jane has always been our go-to Form 2 because of the power that this had and the two motors. But it's been really nice to be able to have vendors that are starting to really make powerful toys in a small compact at a price point people can afford. $60 is a little bit better than $145, though I'm still partial to the Form 2, so I have to just throw that in there. And then this dildo style internal, but also could be external toy. Again, some of the most, this is by Sola.
And this is really soft too.
Sola
I really like
Q.
the silicone on this.
The silicone on it is phenomenal. It is powerful. So for me, I'm looking for power tools. Something that can start low but go real high, and the 80% of the industry keeps it in this kind of mid-range frequency that works for most women but not for all women. And so when you're looking for a toy at Trystology and you're a power girl or you want to be able to have some range, those are the kinds of things we're looking for. So we don't just take any brand. Like there's some incredible brands that sell for $250. But the fact of the matter is if it doesn't work for me, and I have to tell you guys, that is one of the things that I look for. If a toy doesn't work for me, I'm most likely not buying it for anyone else, because if it doesn't work for me, it's not working for other people. Roxy's having too much fun over here with the Sola.
No,
Roxy, Sola,
really
Roxy,
nice.
they've
Hello.
just met today, so. And then the last piece that I look for is like Vixen Creations they used to be a San Francisco-based company. They're now out of Texas. They make these incredible dildos.
Very lifelike.
This one is Johnny. If you can see Johnny on our YouTube channel, he's very lovely and very realistic. But they have their own proprietary, they call it Vic Skin, and it's got a lifetime warranty. So when a vendor has a lifetime warranty, a 5-year warranty, a 3-year warranty, a 2-year, a money-back guarantee warranty, like money-back guarantee with Womanizer. Anybody that stands behind their product, I'm going to be supportive of them because they're going to be supportive of me.
We were talking about these companies that I wouldn't say, I would say they were bad companies, sold toxic toys. When we went to the trade show, I was actually really impressed. And I didn't expect to be. I've always
We did make orders.
I know.
From vendors that I have said we would never buy from. Because
they're
a couple of the toys they're starting to
listen.
Yes. And so we'll look forward to bringing you an episode of the new, oh my God, we were never going to buy these brands, but look at what we've got kind of toys, right?
Yeah, no, I was really excited, and it was also really good to see that they're evolving and changing and really listening to the customers. I mean, there is some vendors there that just were the same old thing,
And we're not buying them. We had to leave when they were doing their presentation.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm not going to touch that toxic toy. I'm sorry.
No, we just can't do it. We couldn't. Neither one of us could.
Yeah, so. No, I mean, because I don't want it on my hands. And then it, leaves that smell of, ugh. When you touch it, it, lingers on,
No,
and
we really...
Can you imagine having that in your vagina?
No, yeah. No, we really... I was laughing because one of them had a thing called the fucking machine. and we couldn't
I
watch
was just
Violet.
like, I'm done. I'm
No.
like, I don't want to see the fucking
But
machine.
I'm waiting to get the phone call because you got like tickets in a drawing to win this thing, and I just know that these are the kind of things I win. You know, I put in orders, and they're gonna call me, Roylin, you won the fucking machine, and I feel like, oh no.
And then like when we got back to our seats, the fucking machine, of course, was like right there,
right on my chair.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, they're just messing with us now.
They were totally messing with us. So there's those bougie bitches.
I know, right?
We're gonna put the fucking machine right there for them. Well, that is our episode. We really hope you enjoyed learning about why Trystology buys, what toys that we buy, and what we really don't want to buy for the store. I'm Roylin, and I'm joined by Roxie at Trystology Talk. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to having you in our next episode. Trystology, for passionate well-being, it's okay to look.